Good morning, dear students of class 8th. I welcome you all to this new class for history, where we are heading towards the new chapter, Women, Caste and Reform. So children, you must be surprised to see this different setup. I am definitely taking classes from the school, and since we teachers have started coming to school, and there are some important instructions for you all to just majorly complete all your written work. Soon you will be asked to come and submit all the subjects, registers, notebooks for correction. So children, please take this as a priority to complete your written work. Now, coming back to the chapter Women, Caste and Reform, where the chapter itself indicates that what status women were having in the past, then what differences, what discriminations women faced on the basis of caste, and what reforms were brought to the status of women. So, in today's world, women empowerment is one of the most important agenda of our country, India. They are given a number of rights. Who are given? Women are given a number of rights. For example, right to education, right to work, etc. But in olden times, like I discussed in the introduction video, that in olden times women were not enjoying these kind of freedom, these kind of rights. They were deprived of all these rights. So, for example, they did not go to schools, they were married at a very early age. Yes, it is true that many kids were married before they attained the age of 13, and which is illegal now. So, children, in the introduction we also saw that how women were being discriminated on the basis of their caste. For example, both Hindu and Muslim men could marry more than one wife, but a widow woman was never allowed to remarry. Why? This was the injustice which was being done to women in the olden times. Moreover, if a woman died at her husband's funeral, she was praised and termed as sati. Imagine taking somebody's life and calling her and praising her after her life is taken. How far it was correct. So women were not given education, nor did they were having any right. Plus, they were not having a bit of authority over their ancestral property. So children, seeing all these injustice which were being done to women, our constitution makers, our reformers have continuously strived for the upliftment of the women in our country. This brings the cause for reforms in our country, which we are going to study in this chapter, children. Now, differences between men and women were not, only the present ones in our country, but there were differences among caste also. Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, they were considered as upper caste. Vaishyas were the money lenders or the traders, and but the Shudras, such as peasants, artisans, they were, considered to be a very low class caste. So those who were considered the low class were not even into the group of the upper caste people. Plus, they were not allowed to enter several places where upper caste people were there. Then what work they were being given? These lower caste people were given only the work of cleaning the villages, isn't it? So these jobs were considered as polluting jobs by the upper caste, and thus the groups at the bottoms were considered as untouchables. Now understand this, how this untouchability or untouchables term is being given to these lower castes. You need to understand this whole, vicious circle. For example, cleaning the cities, cleaning the villages is a work which is considered as a shameful work for the upper caste people. Now, since upper caste people are not doing this work, obviously the people who belong to lower caste are being forced to do this work. Now, since these people are being forced to do this work, what happens next, children? They are being considered as a very, lower level, a low class person. And, this work is being considered as the polluting jobs by the upper caste. and thus the groups were considered as untouchables. They were not allowed to enter temples. They were not allowed to draw water from the same well. Children, there are so many, TV serials which are, focusing, highlighting these injustices which were being done to people in our olden times when India did not get independence, isn't it? So there are many, and there are many movies also who are depicting these social issues and the social injustice. So women were not allowed to take water from that same well where upper caste women were going. Women were not allowed to enter the temples. Imagine, they bifurcated God also, that these people are not allowed to enter the temple. How much injustice our country's women have faced and how much they have suffered. So they were treated as inferior humans. So children, just not being a woman was a terrible situation for them. But if by chance they were born into the lower class caste group, then their situation was extremely awful. That was just very, very harsh and threatening position for them. But during the 19th and 20th century, many of these practices changed. Let us see how this became possible. So here we start with the changes which started coming in our lives. So walking towards change is the next heading, children. Now, from the early 19th century, children, people started doing debates and discussions on social issues, social customs. Social customs and practices are the staunch, specific, peculiar social practices which a society enables its followers to mandately, it is mandate to follow those customs. Now, children, from these 19th and 20th century, major discussions started coming on. Then one major reason was the development of books. Why people instantly and one fine day they realized, started discussing about how, because there was now awareness among people. How awareness was there? We get aware. How do we get to know about what's happening around the world, children? You will instantly answer me that through news, newspapers, social media, news channels, TV and everything, right? So media plays a very important role, where in that time our electronic media was not that advanced, but we were having that print media. Print media talks about newspapers, bulletins, pamphlets, brochures, everything, journals. So people started becoming aware, and they got to know how women are being suffering everywhere. So this made ordinary people read about social issues and even right to express that what they thought about various social, political and economic issues. When people started speaking up, when people started publishing their thoughts, then that create a lot of awareness in the people, children. Thus, it resulted in expansion of such debates. Children, we often get into debates with anyone in our family or amongst our friends when we get to know how hot burning issues going on in our country. Obviously there has to be one group favoring that notion and one group which would be not agreeing to that notion. So it is endless children. So when people started getting to know, when people started becoming aware, they started discussing, they started talking, and hence when people start talking, their thoughts, their approaches, their ideas start coming out. So this was the time when change was about to happen. Now such type of debates was initiated by Indian reformers. Now again children, this term has its meaning in itself. Indian reformer. A person who is having the nationality of India is known as Indian, plus a reformer who is a reformer, one who brings in reforms, changes for the good cause. Reform is not just a change. Change can be positive, change can be negative. So Indian reformers were the people who were bringing new changes in the society for the betterment and upliftment. Now this was initiated by Indian reformers such as Raja Ram Mohan Roy. he founded the Brahmo Samaj, which later came to be, earlier it was Brahmo Sabha, but later on it came to be known as Brahmo Samaj in Calcutta. Now children, people like Ram Mohan Roy were known as reformer. Why? Why we call him a reformer? Because they felt that the evils of the society should be removed. This was their, igniting thought in their minds at that time. Many people must have felt that it is wrong and it is very much a big evil, but none of them came in front. So these people are considered as reform because they were knowing it since the beginning that these are social evils which should be removed from society. Now to ensure these changes, they start persuading people to give up old practices and adopt a new way of life. Right? So for this, children, they started persuading people. Persuading is making people agree to their thoughts, to persuade, to influence people so that they should understand these reformers' point of view and they should stop practicing these social evils, and after that they should adapt to new ways of life. Now children, I would stop here and we will continue in the next class with changing the lives of widows. So that's all for today's class. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.